All right, everybody. Thanks for downloading this episode. Um, if you don't mind, real quick before we get started, give us a rating at iTunes. We appreciate it. People who downloaded in the past, if you give us a rating, thanks. I guess for doing it in the past. We got to talk to Kevin Brown. He's a linebacker in the CFL. He plays for the Ottawa Red Blacks. So, pretty good interview. A little bit different. Learn a lot about the CFL in this one. So check it out. Let us know what you think. And here we go.
All right, everybody, we're sitting here talking to Kevin Brown. How's it going, Kevin?
What's good, guys? How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Always good when we're talking to a player, and he's a linebacker for I think it's the Argonauts. Is
The
how you say it?
Ottawa Red Blacks, is that right?
Yeah, the Red Blacks.
Red Blacks. Okay, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I mixed that up with the. We're having a guy on tomorrow, and that was the Argonauts.
We got a whole bunch of notes wrote down here, and we got so many
I'm sorry
notes wrote
about
down.
It's all good.
So first of all, we'll be the first to admit right here. We're more NFL guys because I mean obviously we live in the States, we live in Charlotte, so we don't get a lot of CFL games on, but we do try to watch as much as we can. We keep up with some guys. We've actually talked to couple guys who played in the CFL for a little
Right.
bit. But what's the you play? You played at Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, I played at Cincinnati.
So what was it like playing at Cincinnati?
It was pretty cool. I was recruited back when Butch Jones was the coach there, the head coach there, and it was a really good experience. We had that coaching change, and we got Tommy Tuberville. I came in as a DB and ended up switching to linebacker when Tuberville came, and it was a little tough transition at first, but I just basically spent my time at Cincinnati learning how to play linebacker, and I feel like that kind of limited my aggressiveness towards the NFL, I guess, because I didn't really think I was big enough to play linebacker, so I didn't really pursue the NFL like I should have. I didn't even train that off season my first year after my senior year, going into the that my first professional year. I didn't even train because I was just gonna just get a regular job. But I was talking to my dad, and somehow he convinced me to keep playing because he said that he saw the potential in me to play professionally, even when I didn't. So after that first year, since I sat that whole year out, I ended up just training that off season. Well, basically when everybody else was in their first season, I was just training, and the Red Blacks. My agent got in contact with the CFL, and the Red Blacks gave me an opportunity, and the rest is all last year.
That's crazy.
Did so what was it like day to day for you being a college athlete at Cincinnati? Do you remember some of the like day to day operations? Like what was it like getting up in the morning? Like just a day in the life of you and at Cincinnati. What was that like?
Well, I can remember. Well, there's really two, almost three parts. There's that winter off season, right after that Christmas break and the bowl games and everything. Right when you get back, there's the summer, winter, or in season. Which one do y'all want?
Well,
We'll take it,
we
whatever you want to give
yeah,
us.
we've heard
In se-
we've heard a couple of the regular. We've never heard really much of the off season. So
well, I'll do off season because I know in winter conditioning, so they schedule all your classes basically afternoon. So, and when I say afternoon, not afternoon, but after 12 o'clock. So, pretty sure I think the defense lifted at like 7 and the offense lifted at 9. So, I used to get up around 6, get ready, get breakfast, rush over to the facility, get dressed in the locker room, go down. You got weights from 7 to about 8:30, and then we'll meet as a linebacker group. The DBs will meet, D line will meet for about 30 minutes, go over some stuff, some basic stuff, just to get ready for spring ball. Then you go to class. Usually you got like maybe one or two classes, so you have class from like 12:30 to like 1:45 or 2. So you got a quick. You either get a little bit of time to eat between after your lift to your first class, or sometimes you wouldn't even have time to eat till after that first class, or maybe even not till after you go to both classes and your lift. So sometimes you don't even eat till like 4. But then I mean after that it's pretty laid back, pretty chill. Off season you just off season is really the time where you up earliest because during the season all your classes are scheduled in the morning, and then you basically got all afternoon as practice, film, meeting with coaches one on one, all that. So
So you do all your football stuff in the morning,
right.
but that's off season.
Off season is definitely they have the whole morning,
Okay.
and then school's the afternoon, and then it flips during the season.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
gotcha. So yeah, we talked to like Austin Duke. He played at UNCC and here in Charlotte. Their new it's a 2A school.
Yep.
He played there, and we've talked to C.J. Rivas, who played on Last Chance U. All these college guys, and I was for a minute there. I was like, wait a minute, because they all talked about, you know, like I guess a day in during the season, and they were like,
Hmm.
they'd be like, you got wake up at like you said 5 6 in the morning, and you're going till 9 at night. So I guess that's in the season.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. And there's a certain point in time in the off season where we do the you right before spring ball when you're doing that conditioning to get ready for the spring football to start, and it's like 2 weeks. Some schools, they got different names for it. We call them bag drills. I've heard people call it Hell Week. Basically, where it's like every day is conditioning only. Like you doing like team activities, kinda, but it's just like competition, like personally competition drills, but with conditioning like incorporated into it. So like you might be doing tug of war, but like you got to do it for a minute straight, and then like the next station you sprint to another station, and you might be doing the L cone drill against another linebacker, and whoever wins gotta can basically step off the rep, but whoever loses got to stay on, and the next person steps up, and you could be under the whole time if you lose every rep, stuff like that. It's a lot of work, but I feel like college really just helps set you up perfectly to catapult you into that professional lane. Because man, you put a lot of wear and tear on your body, but that's the time for your body to transform really into a lot of the athletes' bodies you see on TV in the NFL and the CFL. So,
Yeah, people don't realize what goes behind the scenes, all the work and all that you have to put in to get all that.
oh yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie.
There's a reason they
A
call it Hell
lot,
Week.
a lot of work.
and now, if I'm not mistaken, your years you played at Cincinnati 12 to 15, right?
Right.
So you were there when they won. Didn't they win the Belk Bowl in 2012, or was that
Yeah, that
2000?
was my freshman year. Yep, 2012. We
You
beat Duke. Yep.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So where was that one
Yeah.
played? Was that played in Charlotte?
Yeah, I was we went to Charlotte twice. My freshman year, so I'm 12 and
That's right.
13.
Yeah, because then y'all played North Carolina the next year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm a Tar Heel fan. That's just me. I live in Charlotte. I'm a born and raised
Hey,
a
that
Tar Heel fan. So I mean,
that city is beautiful.
yeah,
I
me
love Charlotte.
born and raised a Tar Heel fan. That's just me. I'm more, but I'll be honest. I'm more of a Tar Heel basketball fan. If I'm being honest here, I keep up more basketball than I do football. But I mean, I keep an eye on the football team, so I remember that. I remember 2013 when y'all played them. I try to
Yeah, they've
keep up
been
with
really
them.
good as of man, from what I can remember. Duke and North Carolina
They're
really,
coming
because I know
alive.
them. Yeah, for basketball schools and the football programs, really
Yeah,
turned around.
both basketball programs are, I mean, obviously they're two of the most respected in the nation. That's not a secret. I mean, but Carolina's football team is coming alive. I mean, they had Mitch Trubisky who's playing for Chicago now, and
Trey
Yep.
Boston.
yeah, Trey Ball. I mean, they got a couple guys who's making names for themselves. So, but
You got
that's cool,
Jason
man.
Tatum.
Won a Belk Bowl. That's pretty sweet. That's one of the, I mean,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
like
that's one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite. Probably, yeah, one of my favorite teams of my 4 years there was that year when we won the Belk Bowl.
man, that's great. And
That's
it
got
was
to
a
be wild on your freshman year. Like, you're just kind of getting used to everything and
oh yeah,
something like
here we go.
that.
Yeah, I just
Um,
pulled up the stats for it. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Man, that's cool. Played in the Belk Bowl in Charlotte. That's pretty weird. I mean, that's crazy because we're out of Charlotte. That's so cool.
Yeah, that because that was my first time I've been to Charlotte too, so
Do you remember?
it
So
was great.
what was it like? What was it like getting ready for your first bowl game? You remember that whole process, like maybe like the week leading up to it, what practice was like, and coach talks
Yeah,
and stuff.
just the whole itinerary of having to be, most of the games you play in college, you're there the night before, and then you play the next day, and then you either leave that night. Some teams leave the next morning, but for the bowl game, we're in the city for like a week, so that was the first time I'd ever experienced that the whole season. So it was kind of different going to practice in a different city in a different. I think we practiced at a high school, practiced at one of the local high schools or something like that, and it was just going there, not having your locker that you might go to. Like it was just having to get used to that. So, but it was pretty cool, man. Just being in the city during the week, having the chance to go out and explore. They got the activities set up for you, so we got to go to the NASCAR track and ride in the cars, and that was really cool. And it was just a really cool experience for real. All I remember is none good stuff about the Belk Bowl, and the fact that we went 2 years in a row, and I was excited the next year when they said we were going back to the same bowl.
Yeah,
I was like, wow. I mean, it was nothing but great, and Belk did a hell of a job. They gave us a lot of, I think they gave us almost $500 to just spend in the store. So that alone was pretty cool.
That's pretty
So
sweet.
yeah, that is pretty cool. A lot of people don't
yeah, I
know.
loved it.
A lot of people don't know, but so I don't know, and this you played in two Belk Bowls, so I mean I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people don't know the Belk Bowl's played in Charlotte because Belk's world headquarters is in downtown Charlotte. It's
No, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's Belk. So Belk started in Charlotte, so that's why they obviously have rights
Got you.
to the city of Charlotte, bowl game or whatever. They're actually in
Right.
talks to. They're actually one of the people who come out and mentioned they want to buy the Panthers obviously because they started in Charlotte. So and
Yeah, that was the first time playing in that stadium too. That stadium's nice too.
so
I like.
obviously we're Panthers fans too because we're in Charlotte, obviously. So which locker room did y'all in? Was y'all in the home or the away?
I think we were in the way.
Oh man, that's still cool
That's
though.
still really cool. You got to
That's
think about all
cool.
the people that have been in there and like
Yeah,
the lineage and everything.
yeah. They had a room where it was a lot of people had like sketched their names into the wall and like the little pole in the back.
What are some of the names you
So
remember?
dang, I really don't remember, but I just remember I remember seeing that, and I'm pretty sure I scratched my initials in there.
That's pretty.
If we ever get to go in the stadium or something like,
If
we're
we
gonna have
ever
to
go
see.
in, we're looking for it and we're taking a picture of it and we're tweeting it to you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine was in there.
That's pretty cool.
Because
Man,
we've been in the stadium before.
yeah, we've been in there.
We had
So
a like fifth grade field trip where we got to go take a tour,
yeah, because
Oh man,
yeah, our school's just. I mean, we're less than an hour away from the stadium. So
and we had been in the away locker room, so we'd been
yeah,
in there. I never knew that we'd be talking to a guy that has been in there also. Though.
yeah,
That's
that's
pretty crazy.
crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
I love that stadium.
So coming out of college, do you did you kind of in any way maybe pursue the NFL or was it ever a thought or anything like that?
Man, it wasn't literally during my senior year. I I was contemplating being done. I just really didn't feel as confident at my position from a standpoint of I didn't even start playing football. It wasn't super late, but I didn't start playing till my junior year of high school. So, and that was like at the position I was playing, which was safety. So, me coming into the university, okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna keep learning off of the few years I've been playing at the position, then change my sophomore year to linebacker. So basically, I had my sophomore and junior year. I was playing nickel, which still wasn't really. It's not really. It's a linebacker, but you're still in coverage the majority of the time. We played a lot of man to man, so I was still playing coverage basically, and a lot of special teams. But it wasn't until my senior year where I got to actually play linebacker. So I just didn't really feel like I had developed enough to be confident in even pursuing the NFL at that position. It wasn't. I was in my mind. I was still a safety that was out of position, but I guess it all worked out and the way it was supposed to. I guess because I fit perfectly into the CFL. They really just like athletic linebackers, and I feel like now I'm getting a chance to really. My senior year, I got to get my feet wet, way actually getting to play the position of linebacker in the box for the first time in a game, and now I'm getting a chance. I got the whole chance last year to play, and I feel like next year I'm about to have one of the best years of my career. So hopefully I'm gonna get another opportunity to pursue the NFL, and I'm not ruling it out now because now I'm 100% confident in playing in the box.
Oh yeah.
And like
Because
really athletic linebackers are the new kind of the new thing in the NFL. Like that's really what a lot of defenses are going towards.
exactly, and when I was coming out, I was seeing that, but at the same time they're running like 4.3s, and I was like, "There's no way I'm about to run 4.3." So I was like, I feel like I need to get better at playing linebacker so I can convince somebody that wow, he's just a playmaker rather than he's a fast small linebacker. We'll you know use him as like a project and make him into a good player. I feel like now I have a safe space to really work on that craft, work on being a better linebacker, using my speed and quickness to make plays, and just getting comfortable playing the position. Because when you're moving around a lot, you don't really get comfortable. It's hard to really for the position to become instinctual. So now it's really becoming instinctual, and I could just play, and I don't even have to think about it. So
And you said you started playing in high school of junior year too, right?
yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's a
Just
lot.
football instincts, period. Out happened way later. I didn't even start getting the football instincts till like my sophomore year. Just being able to be comfortable on a football field, just not knowing where blocks are gonna happen, terminology and all that stuff. I didn't even know what cover two. I didn't. I was cool. I was just a 6'1" kind of athletic, lanky guy, and probably a project what I was looked at. So
No, I guarantee it.
yeah. So I
What
feel
made you
like
want to play football?
I mean, I was pretty good at it. I like hitting, so it seemed like it was
It's
a
a good
perfect fit.
reason.
Yeah, I'm an aggressive dude, so I feel like it was just perfect fit. I was doing track before and basketball, but basketball didn't work out. Track, I was good at it, but I knew I wasn't gonna be like a track star or anything.
What kind of
And
events were you
football,
doing in track?
I was doing a long jump, and that was it.
Wow.
So I was a one event guy, so that's why I knew I was like, I'm not gonna be like a long jump champion or anything. So it was just football. When I stepped on, I remember the first time that first training camp, my junior year, and it literally just it just clicked for me, just the contact, and it's not too like when you get to college, obviously it's a whole different ball game. So it wasn't too um the X's and O's weren't too complicated to where I couldn't just play. So they knew I didn't understand all that as much as everybody else did. So they really simplified it for me so I could just play fast, just come downhill, hit. Coverages were pretty simple. So basically, it was just learning all that in college, the basic terminology, the advanced terminology, the advanced play calls, all that different kind of stuff. Being able to know down and distance what offensive tendencies and all that stuff, like all that stuff, man, that makes it for a hell of a football player. And you don't know that that was something I didn't know. So now that I'm starting to feel that out and get a better understanding for it, I feel like I'm gonna the sky's the limit.
Especially when you started playing so late, like you're just now kind of like getting in your like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
tapping into my potential now. I feel like
yeah, I think
it's
so.
late. It's late, but it's better late than
And
never
you don't
in
have
my
those
mind.
hits on you that everybody else had, like going through school and all those. Like you don't have any miles on you.
Exactly. Exactly. I had 1 year really playing in the box. So I really haven't been banging like that. And I was in the CFL. We hit, but I don't think you guys, I don't know if you heard about it or not, but last year they took out hitting in practice. So we don't even wear shoulder pads during the week.
Is
And
that
that's
just in
So
the
at
CFL?
all.
is that just in this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the CFL. It's just in the CFL. They just implemented that like it was like halfway through the season. They
Because
were
I
like,
don't.
no more shoulder pads.
I might be wrong on this because I don't even know if NFL allows like a full
Yeah, I
contact.
don't think they do.
I don't think they allow like
Nah,
completely
nah.
full contact practice. So
But I do know they have shoulder pads, and if you're in the box, you're hitting because I mean you can't. You're gonna hit an O lineman, or you're
yeah,
gonna like you may not necessarily thud the running backs, but you're gonna hit an O lineman at some point. But when they take away the pads, I mean it allowed that actually helped me because it allowed me to become better with my hands because all I knew was come down and button press, but then it just taught me how to use my hands more and get off blocks. So, but yeah, so those hits I didn't really took that away, and I'm pretty much I'm pretty fresh.
dang. So what is there any so other than that rule, um, is there any like major differences between American football and CFL, or is it pretty parallel? I mean, is it pretty the same thing?
I mean, if you watch it, there's a noticeable difference, and I don't know if you've seen the how the receivers get that head start. So that's like if a kid's watching the NFL only and they see that, like, whoa, what's going on? So they get basically a head start. Basically, the receiver's off the ball. So how a receiver would be off the ball in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
when you're off the ball in the CFL, you can move around however you please as long as you cross the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped. So
So you can
it's basically
literally cross the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped in the CFL.
no, but
N-
I'm saying you behind the line of scrimmage you
Uh,
can move.
oh,
Well,
So
okay.
how
you can't
there's
get
no
like an illegal formation or like a false
exactly.
start.
Gotcha. Okay.
So how like in the NFL you got to be set for that 1 second.
One
In the
second. Yeah.
CFL, if you're off the ball, you do not.
Oh,
You can
okay.
move around. You can do whatever you want.
Could you get like 5 yards back and be running and
Yep. You can start 10 yards back.
whoa?
That brings like snap
That
counts and
brings.
everything is way more
Oh
important now too.
man, that's like that'd make it so interesting.
That's why
Man,
the defensive
they got
backs
to be
really,
quick.
yeah, they're really good up there. And I'm not gonna lie, there's some guys that are really, really, really good.
I bet they would shut NFL receivers down like it's nobody's
You can't really
business.
press anybody anymore, like if that's the case, because it's gonna be hard to press somebody if they can just
Yeah,
run past you.
Oh man,
really
I've
hard
never
to.
even heard of that. That's crazy.
I
We
heard.
really only press guys on the line, but if you off, you gotta respect that because they can. Yeah, you gotta respect that.
Do
Wow.
they allow you
Definitely off the
to
ball.
jam them more than the NFL since they're kind of giving them a break? Do they kind of let you jam a little bit more?
It's actually they're kind of a little more lenient with the rules because I mean the fact that they even have the head start, they want the offense to score points.
Oh yeah,
So they
obviously.
kind of, it's kind of an offensive league. So we're at a disadvantage, but at the same time, I feel like that's what allows us to market ourselves
Well, yeah.
It's a branding
openly
thing. It's
because
kind
it's
of a
like,
good way to
yeah,
think about it.
Well, and another thing,
if I can cover this, I can cover
that's what I'm about.
someone
That's what
like,
I was about to say. Another thing, you could like if you could somehow sit down with an NFL coach and be like, look at what I'm having to cover. You have no one on your team that's had to cover this. I can
yeah,
cover this all day
they
long.
know
Like,
that. They know that though. They know that.
I mean, that's correct. I wish people see. I wish people knew stuff like that. Like, I wish like the general public who just watches NFL on Sunday and doesn't follow up throughout the week. Like, I wish people knew. Like, I mean, I follow the NFL as closely as possible. Obviously, we do a NFL focused podcast, but I mean,
Yeah, I got the most respect for the DBs in the CFL,
yeah,
and on
heck
our
yeah,
team,
I do too
I tell
now.
them all the time. I tell them all the time. Like, I mean, when we blitz, I go hard because I know we leaving them out to dry. That's hard in the NFL. So I just know
God,
I
That's
know
already a
everything.
gamble.
You gotta take it up a notch because those guys are really they're at a disadvantage. So I just try to do anything I can to help them, whether it's in coverage, dropping in the zone, or blitzing if they're in man. Just try to help them at all costs.
I also heard I heard on on an interview with somebody that played in the CFL. They said like the nose tackle, they can get all up on the ball too. Like I heard they can get they can basically like get right up on them. I don't know if that
Nah,
was
the D line has to be a full yard away from the ball.
okay. Maybe it was the opposite. Like they were saying you can do that in the NFL. Okay,
Yeah, no,
wow.
I know in the NFL they can get right up in your face.
okay. I think it was the other way. Okay, I remember there
Because
was
we
like a
used to
distinct
make,
difference.
and I remember in college we used to tell our D line to basically put the pressure on well, maybe not necessarily the ends, but the tackles to definitely put the pressure on the refs to make that call. Because if they'll let us get as close as we can, and then basically you establish that line of scrimmage, and then you stay right there the whole game. Don't move back, don't move forward. You stay right there from where you start.
I,
So if you can get as close as you can on that first snap, get as close as you can to the ball or to that center, and then basically you've established they didn't call it, so it's like okay, I can be right here, so I'm gonna stay here the whole game.
man, that is
So that's another
wild.
crazy rule because the defense can't get as close to the scrimmage line of scrimmage, and they can't. The receivers are allowed to do what we were talking about earlier. So that's another challenge for the defense.
Yeah, those guys definitely have a yard, so it's tough on the ends and the tackles to get free. So when they do, it's something special.
Yeah, well, I know for one thing, the rest of the night tonight, I'm going to be watching highlights of cornerbacks in the CFL because that's the craziest thing I've
We
ever
already
heard.
knew we were going to be watching Kevin Brown highlights for
Yeah, we
sure.
already knew we were going to be doing that,
Oh
but now,
yeah, yeah, you got to watch my guy Sherrod Baltimore. I don't know, he's one of my teammates. He's on Twitter too, but yeah, you got to watch his highlights. He's a straight beast.
we'll
He's an
be watching
animal.
every
You,
highlight of a CFL cornerback there is on YouTube. We
you
will be.
say Sherrod?
Yeah, Sherrod Baltimore,
Oh, I see
Damn.
him.
Corey Tyndall. It's a whole bunch of them guys. Jonathan Rose, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Nick
follow him.
Taylor. It's a whole bunch of. If you look at the roster, if you just click on position, and when it goes to DB, you can click on anybody's name.
That is
It's top to bottom, top to bottom. Those guys are good, and they're good at what they do. Because it's hard to play DB in the
it
CFL.
is very hard apparently. So being in the CFL, if you're from Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, I am.
So what's it like, being away from home in the CFL during what's it like being that far away from home in a whole nother country? I mean,
It was. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I got homesick probably late in the season when the season was almost over. It was really and it was that and it was so late in the season that the playoffs were close enough that as soon as we started to I started to realize we were going to make the playoffs. It went away because then my focus was on that. So it wasn't really that bad because I went up there with the focus. Like, I mean, at any moment you could go home, you could be at home. Just like right now, I mean, they could get rid of me if they wanted to, as I'm speaking to you guys. But it was basically going up there with that mentality that, man, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like, I'm not going home. So me having that attitude of not going home, I didn't necessarily miss home at all. Once I made the team, it was kind of just now I want to play, and then it was like now I want to be a starter. Now I want to be dominating. I want to dominate my position and be an impact on the team. So basically, I was just establishing new goals every time. My mind never really got to drift back to where I was being at home the year before. So it was being away at college. That's why I wanted to go out of state too in college, just to be away from home to get used to that. So
That's probably a
I
good way
didn't
to look
really,
at it.
and this is your first
yeah,
year,
I didn't
right?
exactly. Yeah, this is my first year.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was checking. I couldn't. I was on your page and it didn't. I mean, I might have just missed it, but it didn't say rookie beside your name anywhere. But I was.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was last year was my first year.
okay,
What was it
gotcha.
like moving up to Canada and everything?
It was a pretty smooth transition. They do a really good job, football operations and all the people that work under the management there. Man, they do a great job of keeping us housed. We stayed in the dorms at Carleton University, which is one of the universities in the city, when we were in training camp. And then after training camp, you basically, I started off on the practice roster, so they housed us in it's an extended stay downtown in the city, so it was right by everything and quick, not too far from the stadium, so it was a pretty easy commute. It was a pretty easy transition. Um, Other than having to find your own way there, and it wasn't that far, so I I got a little bicycle at the beginning of the season just to go back and forth because it was super close. So, and I mean, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad of a transition at all.
So do you have dual citizenship?
No,
Okay.
I wish I did though.
Yeah, I mean that I mean, that's a thing few people have. I mean, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
it's not as easy to get your citizenship up there. Well, it's not easy to get in the U.S. either, but
No, it's not
yeah,
at
it's
all.
not as easy.
Dang.
I was doing good to get my passport to go up there in the first place, let alone get a citizenship.
That's pretty funny. Oh man, that's good. But yeah, man, I cannot get over that receiver thing. That just is gonna blow my mind
Yeah, I want
for
you
the
guys to
rest of
watch
the
it because
day.
it's really, man, it's crazy.
Well, I mean,
But
it's unrespected, but not for the wrong reason. Like people, it's just a thing people don't even know, and it's like, you
yeah,
know,
and I don't get. That's what I'm saying. I can't get mad at the receivers when I
yeah.
mean they make plays. I mean they have no control over that rule. It's an advantage, but I mean
Oh
you can't
heck
get mad
yeah,
at them. They still got to make the catches and they still got to make the plays. So those are still
man,
good guys, but those DBs, man, the good ones that can cover, they can cover those guys in space. Those
unbelievable.
guys are really good,
Yeah, that's unfreaking
really good.
believable. But well, man, I don't want to hold you up too long. We've been going about half an hour here, so
Yes.
I don't want
Thanks
to hold
for
you.
talking with us. So
Yeah, we. For
I
people that don't
appreciate
know, we
you.
kind of done this short notice, so we want to thank you for doing this on such a short notice, and we got this whole thing set up today. So,
Thank
uh,
y'all for having me, man.
oh
Y'all hit
man,
me up on Twitter,
I'll,
and it's been a pleasure.
well,
oh yeah, and
thank
if
you,
you ever
man.
want to be on again, we definitely want you on anytime you're ready.
Hey, just let me know, cause I'm always game for it. I'm training. I start training. I'm leaving to go to Austin in a couple weeks, and I'll be down there. Then I'll be back in Canada in probably about April, mid-April or May. So
Man, well, sounds pretty good, man. We appreciate it.
appreciate you, man.
All right.
All right, everybody. We're hoping that you enjoyed that. I know we did. We were glad to get him on for sure.
Yeah, that was a real good time.
We kind of like we set that up probably about 2 hours, an hour before. So
Yeah, we
we
done
had
it.
somebody cancel on us, so we wanted to take advantage of the free day that we had, and we were really glad that him and we actually had one. We're about to drop a few days after this also.
Yeah, so this should be dropping on Monday if we're not. This should come out late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and we're gonna have another one come out tomorrow morning on Tuesday morning. So be sure to check both of them out.
We were real fortunate to have two cool guys like this say
Yeah,
they want to do it.
we plan on having one long podcast, but we got two about 40 minute ones. So
And we have some more scheduled. I think we're gonna have one Friday, but we don't like to guarantee anything.
yeah, we don't want to guarantee anything.
But
We got
definitely will have something within the next week or something.
we do got something planned. So thanks for listening to this one, everybody. We appreciate all the downloads from everybody. Appreciate all the subscribers. Tell everybody you think might enjoy this kind of stuff to subscribe and download. It helps us, get better guests on. The more views we get on everything, the more better guests we get.
And
So
we're hoping we're gonna have an MMA guy on here soon.
yeah, we're hoping to have a guy, up and coming MMA fighter. We'll
So
just say that.
be ready for that.
Yeah, so be sure to check them all out. Download the one coming out tomorrow if you're listening to this on Monday. If they both come out, well, thanks for listening to both of them if you got them.
I've been meaning to say this for a while. Thank you a lot to our friends Heath and Taylor
Yeah, thanks a lot to
and
those
Dalton
guys.
Fast.
And Dalton for retweeting everything on Twitter and sharing it and everything, sharing on Facebook and all those things. So big shout out to those guys. We've had all but Heath actually on the show.
We're gonna have him on. He likes Alabama, so if you like Alabama, you're gonna hear. I plan on having him on whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get him on one day and talk some college football with us or something.
So yeah, thanks for those three guys.
Educate us on some college
for some
football.
good promoting, and we really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and tell everybody to subscribe. We'll see you next time.